Hello, YouTube! Welcome back to another episode of Factorio. Last time we got all this coal on into the network, basically, ready to go, ready to be delivered somewhere at a moment's notice. And this time, we're going to continue the expansion of our base onto yet another massive resource field. We're going to take our second iron field. That's the plan for today. So last time we had to clear out a bunch of biters in order to do that. For this time, we've actually already done that much work. The biters are already all taken care of. No big issues here. So what that means for us is that it's really just going to be a matter of focusing on logistics, right? Setting up the miners, setting up the smelting operation, and getting that all done as fast and efficiently as possible and as upgradable as possible. Right? That's the big thing. It's got to be scalable. We're moving into the part of the game where scalability is king. Right? We're getting into the point where we're just going to have to make everything that we've got, but make it gigantic. And in order for us to do that, it's all about thinking about how the things that we put down can be made bigger in the future. So I've got enough in my hand now to make 72 miner drills. I'm going to make all of them in my hand, just as is. Why not? And I'm not going to make you guys sort of watch throughout all that as this happens. So I'm going to move down into the area around that iron farm. I'm going to do pretty much what I did the last episode. I'm going to lay down a bunch of miners. I'm going to create a nice network and start moving them as though I'm going to send them towards the smelting operation, and then I'll check back in on you as we get ready to look at what the current smelting operation is going to look like. All right, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Let's go. Man, all this running around is a pain in the butt. This is a like absolute result of my sort of lack of planning, and also the fact that we haven't gotten far enough into the game yet that we're hitting like logistics systems and stuff like that. Because there are bots that will do a lot of this running around for me, grabbing stuff from chests, bringing it to me, even just building the stuff on its own. And that's, to most people, I think, the best part of the game. And I think most people consider that like the real game. For me, I have never really played around with bots. So I'm really looking forward to getting there, but we just haven't gotten there yet. So I'm doing everything sort of manually right now. And as you can see, that's involving a lot of running around back and forth. Every time I think I've got the resources that I need, I find out that I don't. And I have to run all the way back to town in order to pick up all the stuff that I need. I say run back to town. I guess the idea is it's a big factory. I have to run to the other side of the factory, but you know, same idea. So yeah, it's just a bit frustrating and annoying. Also, this is like, I don't know if this is doing everything that I need it to do. I don't know. I've clearly made a lot of interesting decisions throughout the course of the run here. Again, all of this, my goal with this bus is to eventually tear it almost entirely up, right? One item at a time, find a little section that turned it into like a mall and make like, you know, like a mall style approach instead of this bus approach for all this stuff eventually. But for now, we're kind of stuck with it as is, and it's fine, but there are definitely some places on it where I made some inflexible decisions, and that's coming around to bite me pretty hard. Yeah, I just need a bunch more of these, I think. And so, yeah, you'll see that I'm doing a lot of the same stuff sort of over and over again, just in order to, you know... How many are left in here? You're almost getting to the point where you're done. I'm like doing these things over and over again just in order to pick up the incredibly large amount of stuff that I need. I need belts by the hundreds. I need, you know, I need belts by the thousands. I need rail by the hundreds. You know, I need miners by the hundreds. I'm going to need furnaces by the hundreds once we're done here. I'm going to need a whole bunch of these big electric poles, which, how many of those can I even make in my hand right now? A couple. I'm going to grab a few of those, I guess. Put that on the production line. Because I'm going to need to run those out. Let's do regular poles. I'm going to need a few of them for sure. Let's see. Batteries. I'm going to snag a few batteries because I want to make my personal batteries. How many batteries did I grab just there? 5. That's exactly how many I need. So we're going to go ahead and make a personal battery. And then we're going to make... I'm going to make energy shield and night vision goggles, and we're going to slot those in to ourselves here. And again, our, you know, our solar panels have been made, our what are these things? Accumulators, the big batteries have been made. I did just get the ability to make substations at some point, these guys here. So we'll probably need to make a few of those for the power, for the switch over to solar power, which we are going to do. That is on the boards. You know, that is something we really, really want to do. And by the way, I noticed that this is a little bit, we're going to do this. That doesn't really work either. Let's go straight down. Edit to the plate there, and this, in fact, would turn over. There we go. That means that allows that all of these are going to start getting put out onto the board there. There we go. There had been an issue where this was not producing, and I had noticed that while I was sort of running around. And it was because this was stuck because it wasn't able to offload all of its iron plates. So it was stopped because it was waiting for all of its iron plates to be offloaded, but it was able to successfully offload all of its steel. Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to turn you off for a second. We're going to go. You're going to hold at rail supplies, not until time has passed, but until you get steel greater than, let's say, like 1,000. There. Don't run me over. Okay. I want you to pick up a bunch of steel before you start coming back. And we might need to, like, again, that's going to be a thing that might break that whole production, because it might just be sitting and waiting for steel for so long that, you know, production on rails grinds to a halt. I don't know how that's going to work out. That one's going to have to be one that we pay attention to. So we're coming back down here, and I'm going to, I guess, keep going with this, making as many of these, trying to get this as set up as possible. And then the next step after this is going to be to set up smelting of all this iron that we're going to be mining. So I'll be right back with you guys. See you in a bit. All right, folks, welcome back. So, as you can see, I've done exactly what I did in the last area with the coal, and I have created a very nice and orderly collection of miners that are mining out iron and piping them outward. And now I have it organized into 4 nicely distinct lanes, each one a result of 2 of these lanes of traffic. I was able to get exactly 8 lanes in here, which I was able to combine each one nicely together. So we have 4 total outgoing lanes of iron ore. This, because some of these lanes are incredibly dense, like for instance this one, and some of them are incredibly not dense, like this one, and then to a lesser degree this one. This one I do want to balance. I absolutely want to lane balance this one, because these are all going to go to 4 separate lanes of smelters, much like they're doing in back by the beginning of the bus. But because they're going to 4 separate lanes, those lanes, I want them to be filled as evenly as possible, so we output as much as possible all the time. So this I do want to balance. So this is going to be our introduction to 4-lane balancers. So in order for this to work, 3, 4, 2. We have enough material for this to work. So for this to work, I need 4 splitters, and I need 2 sets of undergrounds, and then the rest is made up by regular belts. Actually, I just noticed I'm only at 5 belts. My God. I'm actually out of belts. Do I actually have any of my resources to build one? I don't. All right, give me just another couple of minutes. I didn't realize I'd come that close to running out of belts. So give me just a minute. I'm gonna have to go collect more belts. This is more of what I was just talking about before with how much I have to keep running back and forth to get these resources. But it'll also give me a chance to collect some, to figure out what kind of smelters I want to use. I think I just want to use steel furnaces. I don't think I'm going to move into electric furnaces yet, but there's always the option of that happening. But I just don't think I'm quite there yet for this system, especially because there's going to be a nice, easy, like, overflow of coal to drop off over there. It'll always be loaded up with coal. So I really honestly think that that's not going to work. So I'm going to make a bunch of stack inserters. I'm going to collect a bunch of fast transport belts, and I will see you in a bit. Hey there, guys. It's Tanis here, editing this video, and I guess you guys have probably noticed this one's a little bit shorter than the other ones. This is going to happen occasionally, and I apologize for when it does happen. Sometimes these recording sessions just devolve into me doing sort of the same thing over and over again, which is why I want to do these time lapses, because all I'm doing is, like, you know, laying down a bunch of track, or I'm just laying down a bunch of miners and stuff like that. Anytime where there's just big expansion and, you know, there's not a lot of interesting decisions being made, I'm just doing the same old, that's the kind of time where I want to use these to their greatest, to the greatest strength. That's when I think these have their most important uses. So sometimes that does mean, though, that my big, long recording sessions end up getting cut down into very small videos. So hope you don't mind that, and hope you're enjoying it so far. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, welcome back. So, first thing, obviously, I noticed on the way over, we've been done with some of this stuff for a while. Let's just take, there's a lot of stuff that we can start taking to move into other stuff. I'm going to take lab research just because it's going to take a while. We'll give that some time. That'll take some time so we can focus on other stuff. So, here we go. Make a 4-way inserter. This is the best 4-way inserter that I've ever seen. I think it's like the canonical 4-way inserter, or I say 4-way inserter, that's not what I mean. 4x4 belt balancer, to make sure that the outputting 4 belts are fully balanced, even if these inputting ones are not, right? So this is the way we're going to do it. We're going to go 2, we're going to leave a space, and we're going to, let's start with the belts. So we're going to go from the middle, out 1 each, and then from here we're going to go out 2, and then inward, out 2, and then inward, okay? From there, we have a splitter here. and then this goes outward and then just up. Okay, outward and then up, and then these middle ones here are going into, these are underground belts, so underground here, underground here. These undergrounders feed directly into a splitter, and boom, we're done. No matter what feeds into these four, even if only one of these is filled up, even if only one of these internal belts is filled up, these ones will all have something coming out of them and flowing downstream. Okay, that's the benefit of this. So no matter what, even if 3 of these 4 lines dry up, all 4 of these outputs will still have something going out of them. That's the benefit of a 4-way belt balancer. This is like the best 4-way belt balancer that's out there. I'm sure that there are other variations on this, and I believe you can actually put like one belt balance, like you can put one of these here and one of these here, and that's another way to like shuffle them at the final, but I don't think you really need to. I think this is already balanced as is. I have seen designs that add a couple at the cap, but I don't think that's necessary. So now that we have, you know, balanced, we've got all of our iron, it's being mined, it's being sent down the line, and those lines are now balanced. Now we can take each one of these 4 lines and we can split them off into a full line of smelters. Right. So I'm going to do one here just to sort of show, and I think I'm actually short on some material, so unfortunately this is not going to be super great. So we're going to do it here, and I'm going to like designate this space here. So we're going to do exactly what we're doing in the other areas. It's going to look exactly like the things that we have in other areas, right? So we're going to go up. So it's going to run up. So for instance, if I take this space, if I say this is the space that's got it, this is going to go up. I'm going to take my steel furnaces. We're going to run 8 inside here. So I'm going to say something like, say it starts like here or something. I'm not really, let's give it some space to start. So let's say it starts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Then there's, so this runs all the way down to here. On the inside, space for 1, and this was going to run north. Oh, all this should be running north. I don't know why any of it's running south. It should all be running north. This is going to run north, up and out of the line. Then on the other side, there is 1, 2. Oh, by the way, I don't know how well this is going to play with the video, and I don't know how well it's going to play with especially the time lapsing. But yeah, I put on those, as you can see, I put on all of the equipment into my armor. So now I have a battery which is being charged up by the solar panels, which is powering an energy shield and my night vision. But with the night vision, like it changes the color of everything. So I'm worried that with the time lapse, it's going to be a little bit weird. Like where the colors are going to be constantly changing. I guess we're just going to have to find out. I have no idea how that's going to play. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then in on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then out on either side. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and back around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and there we go. Okay. Now this runs up north as well, up the whole line, and finish this going up the whole line. Take a couple off of here just in case. Okay, now of course we'll have to run power, which we don't have right now. And I'm actually, I'm out of copper. Well, I guess I don't have all the resources. And I thought I might have been short on some resources, but oh well, it is what it is. Also, we just don't have any coal down here right now, so that's certainly an issue. So now if I go like this, plunk you there, get one more over and up, and then well, this isn't going to be quite, I should have, well, unfortunately this is going to be a little bit awkward. Well, not necessarily. If I do it like this, it should, yeah, it'll take to the right spot. And then if I like reverse, yeah, I needed a second one up here to make sure that it doesn't do what I don't want it to do. There we go. All right, I messed it up at first, but I managed to bring it around and fix it. And there we go. Now that's all being fed with the iron ore that it needs, and it will eventually, we will fill all of this with, like, if I have to, yeah, because I feel like I don't have quite the amount of power that I need for all these. Well, maybe I would do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That powers everything. Can I get it over to... Do I have medium? I do have... Well, medium poles I don't think help. If I can connect it to a big pole. Yeah, something like that. There we go. Okay. So these are eventually gonna... I mean, they had a little bit of wood. It was actually wood. It took wood out of my inventory. The auto place mod took a bunch of wood out of my inventory when I was placing it. So they're gonna run on some wood for a little while until they run out. But there you go. That's being produced. We're going to do this 4 times. There's going to be a strip here, strip here, a strip here. The reason why I'm not centering it on this is because this is also going to be the place where we take, because we got 2 big copper fields that are right here as well. And so we're just going to route that copper up here, and we're going to go like, so it's going to go 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go like 1, 2, 3, 4 copper. And then there's going to be, so copper's going to output up here. Iron's going to output up here. We're going to get a couple of train stations, one to pick up the copper, one to pick up the iron. And you see these guys are already running out of fuel, so yeah. Lab research speed just finished, which is nice. So yeah, there you go. I'm going to do 3 of these, and then we're going to output. The output of all of these is going to go to, ideally, the output of all of these is going to go to like a train station where it's going to get picked up so it can be shipped to places that need iron plates. That's the idea. So what we need to do right now is I need to set up functionally 3 train stations right now. One right here to dump coal off. Coal's going to land here, and so it's going to be fed into these going across this way. And then one up here to pick up iron, and one over here to pick up copper, which the copper one isn't set up to even start yet, but that's... So 3 more of those, and then we're going to have to get some trains on those lines in order to, well, once we get some trains on those lines, then the next step is going to be to, like, route everything like that and make sure that the trains are dropping off the coal where it needs to be. They're picking up the iron from here, and potentially even the copper from there, and delivering it where it needs to be. Because right now we're getting to the point where the iron, like, I'm not even necessarily seeing it easily on the map anymore. Yeah, the iron's down to almost nothing. We need to start getting this iron resupplied as soon as possible. So we'll need to make we're going to tear up, once the iron's done, we're going to let this sort of get down as low as possible. Once this is done, we're going to tear all this up. We're going to tear up all of this smelting, and this is just going to be, we're going to create another train station here, which is where we're going to just dump the iron plates, and they're going to join the back end of the belt of the bus. Okay, so that's the idea. I think we're going to do that for let me double check something here. Yeah, we're going to do that for the next episode. So thank you guys very much for stopping in. My name is Tanis Fugitive. Thank you for watching the Fugitive Theater. I appreciate your time. If you really like what I'm doing here, like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel, all that YouTube stuff that you know by now that I hate saying, but it does help. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.